Most people think decluttering is just about tossing old junk. But for us, especially in this season of life, it's something far deeper. It's not just about stuff. It's about memories, identity, and making peace with the past while creating space for what truly matters next. If you've ever opened a drawer and felt a wave of emotion instead of clarity, you're not alone. In the next few minutes, I'll share 5 surprising truths that could change how you see everything in your home, and maybe even yourself. If you've ever walked into a room, looked around, and felt stuck, like the clutter around you was quietly closing in, you're not alone. Maybe it's the stack of papers you've been meaning to sort, or the boxes in the closet you haven't opened in years. You tell yourself you'll get to it, but somehow, it keeps piling up, along with guilt, frustration, and a little bit of shame. For many of us, every object holds meaning, a memory, a person, a moment in time. That's what makes it so hard. Letting go isn't just a task, it's an emotional journey. And that's exactly why this video matters. Today, we're going beyond the typical get rid of what you don't need advice. This isn't about minimalism or empty shelves. It's about understanding the deeper reasons behind the clutter, why we hold on, what it really means, and how letting go can lead to clarity, freedom, and peace of mind. These 5 surprising truths completely shifted how I see my space. And they might do the same for you. Whether you're preparing to downsize, trying to make daily life easier, or just craving a calm, comforting home, you're in the right place. Stay with me, and by the end of this video, you may not only feel more empowered, but actually ready to start. Number 1. Decluttering isn't about stuff, it's about energy. You've probably heard the advice, if you haven't used it in a year, toss it. But for many of us, especially as we get older, it's not that simple. The truth is, decluttering isn't really about the stuff. It's about how the stuff makes you feel. Every item in your home is either giving you energy or quietly draining it. It's that drawer you avoid opening because it's full of tangled cords and things you're not even sure still work. It's the box in the closet labeled miscellaneous that hasn't been touched in years. But every time you see it, you feel a little heavier. Not because of what's inside, but because of what it represents. Unfinished decisions, delayed emotions, unspoken goodbyes. And here's the part no one really talks about. Clutter doesn't just take up physical space, it takes up mental space. It clutters your thinking, your energy, and even your sleep. You might walk through your house every day and not consciously notice it, but your mind does. It remembers every undone pile, every dusty corner, every object that no longer fits your life today. But the good news? You don't need to throw everything away. This isn't about living with less for the sake of it. It's about choosing what truly supports the life you're living now. Here's a simple way to start. Pick up one item, any item, and ask yourself, does this give me energy, or does it take it away? You'll be surprised at how clearly your body responds. Sometimes it's a sigh of relief. Sometimes it's a deep breath. Sometimes it's a quiet no. Letting go doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be gentle, respectful, even sacred. I want to tell you something personal. For over 20 years, I held on to an old serving tray that used to belong to my mother. It wasn't beautiful or useful. It was chipped, stained, and hadn't been used since the late 90s. But I kept it because it reminded me of her. Every time I saw it, I felt a mix of love, guilt, and nostalgia. I told myself she'd want me to keep this. But one day, I realized something important. Holding onto the tray wasn't the same as holding onto the memory. I didn't need the object to keep the love. And honestly, every time I looked at it, I felt weighed down, not uplifted. So I took a picture of it. I wrote a short note about a memory we shared using that tray. And then, I let it go. And let me tell you, it was like releasing a knot I didn't even know was inside me. That small decision gave me a little more space, a little more peace, and a little more energy. So if there's something in your home that makes your shoulders tense, or brings up a quiet sigh when you walk past it, maybe it's time to ask, do I really need this? Or am I holding on to something that's quietly holding me back? Coming up, I'll share the one object I thought I'd never part with, and the powerful reason I finally did. Stay with me. Number 2, it's okay to let go of gifts. Let's talk about one of the hardest kinds of clutter to deal with, the gifts. That mug from your niece, the sweater you wore once out of politeness, the novelty item from a friend that's still in its box. You know the ones. They sit on shelves, hide in cabinets, And collect dust, not because you love them, but because you feel like you should keep them, because someone gave them to you. And this is where it gets emotional. Because we're not just looking at a thing, we're looking at a gesture, a connection, a moment of kindness. And to let go of that gift can feel like you're rejecting the person who gave it. But here's a truth that helped me, and maybe it will help you too. The love isn't in the object. It's in the memory. When someone gives you a gift, the moment you receive it, their intention is fulfilled. Their kindness is real. Their thoughtfulness doesn't live in the item. It lives in your heart. You don't owe the object a lifetime commitment. I once kept a ceramic cat statue that a friend gave me 15 years ago. I never liked it. Honestly, I found it a little creepy. But I kept it, and every time I dusted it, I thought, I don't even want this. And yet, I felt guilty. I told myself I was being ungrateful, that it would hurt her feelings if she knew I'd let it go. But then I asked myself, is honoring a friendship about keeping this object forever? Or is it about remembering how much that person cared? So I quietly said, thank you, out loud, to the object, to the memory, to the gesture, and I let it go. And the love? It didn't go anywhere. It was never in the statue. It was in the smile we shared, the laughter we had that day, and that will stay with me always. Sometimes, we keep things not because they're useful or meaningful, but because we're afraid of what letting go might mean. Let me tell you something from experience. Letting go of a gift doesn't mean you're cold or ungrateful. It means you're choosing your space, your energy, and your truth without guilt. Think about this. Would your niece, your friend, your loved one really want you to feel burdened by the thing they gave you? Of course not. They gave it to bring joy. If it's not doing that anymore, then it has served its purpose, and you have permission to release it. Here's something you can try right now. Go to the area where you keep the random gifts. Pick one item. Hold it in your hand. Ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or am I just afraid to let it go? And if the answer is the second one, say a quiet thank you. Remember the person. Hold the moment. Then, let it move on. Some people even take photos of sentimental gifts before letting them go. That way, the memory is preserved, but the space is cleared. That's a beautiful compromise, and it works. Because here's the bottom line. Your home is not a storage unit for guilt. It's your space. It should reflect who you are now, not who you feel obligated to be. And when you start to clear out those shoulds and maybes and what ifs, something incredible happens. You begin to reclaim your space and your peace. Coming up next, what if I told you that you don't have to throw away sentimental items to declutter? There's a better way, and I'll show you how. Number 3. Sentimental items can be digitized. Here's a truth that can bring instant relief. You don't have to throw away your memories to declutter. For many of us, the hardest things to part with are the ones tied to family, love, and identity. Old letters, children's drawings, wedding invitations, recipe cards, souvenirs from travels long past. These are pieces of our story. But the good news is, you can keep the emotion without keeping the clutter. In today's world, we have tools our parents and grandparents didn't. Phones, scanners, cloud storage, voice memos. You can photograph your favorite keepsakes. You can scan letters and recipes. You can even record your voice sharing the memory attached to each item, and pass that story on to your loved ones in a way that's truly timeless. You're not erasing history. You're preserving it in a form that's easier to carry. Let me tell you how. I preserved something deeply personal. My grandmother's recipe cards. They were old, yellowing, a little greasy from years of kitchen use. Her handwriting, elegant, looping, full of personality, was fading. I couldn't bear to throw them away. But keeping them in a drawer where they'd eventually crumble felt wrong too. So I took photos of each one. I uploaded them to a private album on my computer. Then, this part surprised me. I made a little audio recording for each one, sharing what I remembered, the smell of her kitchen, the way she used to hum while she stirred, the time she accidentally used salt instead of sugar, and we all laughed until we cried. And now, her recipes aren't just stored, they're alive. My kids can listen, see, and feel her presence, even though she's been gone for years. That's the magic of digitizing. You transform physical clutter into lasting legacy. Start small. Pick 3 sentimental items this week. Take a picture, write a note, or record a memory. You'll be amazed at how light you feel after. And the memory? It won't fade. If anything, it'll grow stronger, because now it's shareable. It's accessible. It's part of your story in a new, meaningful way. Coming up next, what if you feel frozen, unable to decide what to keep or toss? Truth number 4 is for you, and it starts with one surprising word: permission. Number 4, decluttering gets easier with one simple rule. Here's something simple, but powerful, that can completely shift the way you declutter. Ask yourself this one question: if I saw this in a store today, would I buy it? If the answer is no, that's a gentle sign. It might be time to let it go. Why is this question so powerful? Because it moves you out of the past and into the present. It helps you make decisions based on who you are now, not who you were 10, 20, or even 40 years ago. Let me give you an example. I had a set of decorative plates, gifts from a neighbor decades ago. They'd been in a box for years, not displayed, not used, but still, I held on to them. Then one day, I asked myself, if I saw these plates in a shop today, knowing everything I know about my style, my space, and my needs, would I buy them? The answer came instantly: no, not because they were ugly, not because they weren't once meaningful, but because today, they no longer fit the life I'm living. And that realization, it didn't make me sad. It made me free. You don't need to justify every item's exit. You just need to check in with who you are now. This rule cuts through guilt. It bypasses overthinking. It keeps you grounded in the present. And best of all, it's fast. You can go through a drawer in minutes just asking that one question. So the next time you're holding something and you're not sure, try it. Would I buy this today? If not, release it with gratitude. It's served its purpose. Now it's time to make space for what truly matters. Coming up, truth number 5 is the most important of all, because it's not about what you let go of. It's about what you choose to keep. Number 5, a decluttered space calms the mind. Here's something many people overlook. Decluttering isn't just about having a cleaner house. It's about having a clearer mind. When your space is calm, your thoughts follow. When your surroundings feel lighter, you feel lighter. So many of us live with quiet background stress we don't even realize is there. A pile of mail on the counter, clothes that no longer fit or feel like us, cabinets filled with things we haven't used in years. It all speaks to us in whispers. You should deal with this. You're behind. Maybe later. Those little whispers build up, and over time, they turn into mental noise. But when you clear the clutter, the noise fades. Suddenly, your home becomes a place that breathes, a place that supports you, rather than constantly reminding you of what you haven't done. This is especially powerful in this stage of life, because whether you're retired, downsizing, or just entering a new chapter, peace matters more now than ever. You've spent years taking care of others, collecting memories, juggling responsibilities, and now it's your time. Time to create a space that nurtures you, your peace, your routines, your mornings and evenings. I remember the first time I decluttered my nightstand, just one drawer. I took out old cords, receipts, expired medication, random bits and pieces. And when I was done, it felt like my mind had more room to rest. That night, I slept better than I had in weeks. It wasn't magic. It was clarity. This isn't about perfection. Your home doesn't need to look like a magazine. It just needs to feel like a place that loves you back. Even the simple act of clearing one shelf, one drawer, one corner, it sends a powerful message to your brain. You're safe. You're supported. You're in control. So if things have felt noisy or unsettled lately, try this. Choose one small space. Clear it out. Don't overthink it. And when you're done, just sit with the feeling for a moment. That lightness, that exhale, that's not just about the drawer. It's about you giving yourself room to breathe again. And that's the real gift of decluttering. Not just more space on your shelves, but more space in your life. Coming up next, let's look back at the transformations and talk about how you can begin today with just one simple decision. I used to hold on to every birthday card, every souvenir, boxes full of memories I thought I couldn't live without. I was scared that letting go meant forgetting. But when I finally started decluttering, something unexpected happened. I didn't feel empty. I felt free. I wasn't losing the past. I was making space for today and for what's next. Now, when I walk into my home, I feel light, focused, like I'm not carrying yesterday on my shoulders anymore. There's space to breathe, to think, to just be. Decluttering didn't erase my memories. It helped me rediscover peace in the present. And that feeling? It's worth everything. Which of these truths hit home for you? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if this inspired you even just a little, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more heart-centered tips on living with less clutter and more peace. You deserve a home that feels good to walk into.